favorites. We're the other guys. It's not that I'm lazy. It's that I just don't care.
Oh, you following me, Mr. Turner?
You do not talk about Fight Club.
I see dead people. I know Kung Fu.
Groovy, baby!
First things first.
Buzz Lightyear mission log.
Hi guys, GeekTrue64 here. Today is a special video. I am beginning a new series looking back at previous years in film. The idea for this series was to look back at a time before YouTube. In recent years there have been an abundance of film reviewers on YouTube sharing their thoughts on movies, and they make their best of lists and worst of lists of the year. I also do this, and I love talking about movies, so I always watch all of these videos. But there isn't as much content out there for older films, like for pre-YouTube era films. That's basically what I'm talking about here. I decided to start my series on 1999 because of its wide variety of movies. I'm hoping this is something like opening up a time capsule, and the way that I'm going to do this is by splitting it into two parts. This is part one, and I'll be talking about a variety of films as well as my picks for the 3 worst movies of 1999. My second video will have my top 12 list of 1999, which will go up the day after this video. I want to thank you guys so much for joining me. We're going to go ahead and segue into the first movie with a commercial.
Go, Joy! Look out! Got you! Down in front. I'm not worthy. Oops, sorry.
Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace. Kicking off this series with the biggest film of 1999, as well as the most anticipated, possibly the most anticipated movie of all time. What was once considered to be the worst Star Wars movie of all time, this was before Last Jedi came along and destroyed the fan base. Episode 1 defined 1999 in a big way. This was a movie we waited forever for. My friend and I founded a small Star Wars club whenever we were in elementary school, and we subscribed to several Star Wars magazines in the hopes of finding out news on the Phantom Menace. Back then, none of us had access to home PCs.
Online 4.0, the easiest just got easier. Now with 56K, connections are faster than ever.
It's fast.
If you have a phone line, you can go online.
What will they think of next?
America Online, so easy to use, no wonder it's #1.
Man, the good old days. Age has not really been kind to the effects in The Phantom Menace, and as with all the prequels, there's a clear deficiency in dialogue, but there are some really redeeming scenes in The Phantom Menace. The pod race is awesome, even if it is a bit long. Darth Maul is one of Star Wars' greatest villains, and it's kind of because he barely speaks, which is why he's so menacing, and his design's really cool. The lightsaber fight is amazing. Also, when Maul just pulled out the double-bladed lightsaber, I was just amazed as a kid that could exist. I mean, geez, just look at it. I'm just going to rock this back and forth. Episode 1 is one of those movies that a lot of people have a love-hate relationship with. Plenty to hate for sure. Actually, there's a lot to love as well.
And they don't stop coming, and they don't stop coming.
The World Is Not Enough. My least favorite of the Pierce Brosnan Bond films. The World Is Not Enough had Denise Richards as a Bond girl named Christmas Jones. And she played a doctor, Dr. Christmas Jones. What?
I thought Christmas only comes once a year.
And the bad guy had a bullet in his brain that made it to where he couldn't feel pain. Fun fact, that actor would later go on to play Rumpelstiltskin in Once Upon a Time, the TV show. Just throwing that out there. Plot for World Is Not Enough is forgettable. There was something about nuclear meltdown or something. I didn't rewatch this one because I didn't want to. Needless to say, 99 was not the best year for 007.
And they don't stop coming, and they don't stop coming.
Big Daddy. Believe it or not, there was a point in time that Adam Sandler movies were actually kind of funny. I said kind of funny. Would you work with me here, Sandler?
And they don't stop coming, and they don't stop stop coming.
Entrapment. This was a heist movie starring Sean Connery and Catherine Zeta-Jones. It is very stylish. It has some pretty good twists. This is also one of Sean Connery's last good movies for League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. You know, he came along and it just resulted in his permanent retirement for acting. And Catherine Zeta-Jones is a knockout as well.
I must be dreaming.
If you love heist movies, it is one of the better ones in my opinion.
And they don't stop coming, and they don't stop coming.
Blast from the Past, starring Brendan Fraser, Christopher Walken, and Alicia Silverstone. This is a comedy about a man who grew up in a bomb shelter with his parents and was raised with 1960s sensibilities. He is sent on the world of 1999. This is just a really fun fish out of water story. It's really funny, and I'd actually like to see a remake of this film, which is something I don't often say. I just want to see Brendan Fraser's character would think about the strange society of 2018. Actually, just going from 1999 to 2018 would be a shock in and of itself. If you've never seen this movie, I do recommend it. It is kind of a rom-com, but unlike most rom-coms, this has really something for guys and girls, and it's mostly a comedy in my opinion. I liked it.
And they don't stop coming, and they don't stop coming.
You can catch them all in theaters for the first time. Pokemon, the first movie.
Pokemon, the first movie. This was a big deal for kids back in 1999. Pokemon was arguably at its height in 1999. This was the movie that was finally going to show us Mewtwo and Mew, and they gave away exclusive cards for going to the movie theater. What a great marketing strategy.
This fall, the ultimate Pokemon showdown is here. Are you ready?
Only Burger King has limited edition gold-plated trading cards from Pokemon, the first movie. $1.99 each with every tasty Burger King Big Kids meal you buy. Taste rules.
I'm told that the Japanese version of this is better. I have no idea. I can only speak for the American version, which is definitely geared exclusively towards kids. I did enjoy the movie when I saw it in theaters back in 1999, but to be honest, as a kid, I actually preferred Digimon to Pokemon. Yeah, I actually preferred Digimon to Pokemon. More on that at some other time.
And they don't stop coming, and they don't stop coming.
And we can't talk about 1999 without talking about the monster movies of 1999, which were Deep Blue Sea and Lake Placid. Even the posters are similar. You got your giant alligator, you got your genetically engineered shark, you got Sam Jackson getting eaten mid-speech.
We're gonna seal off this.
You got Betty White feeding a giant alligator.
Come and get it.
Both these movies are good for what they are, but I do prefer Lake Placid. Lake Placid is just a little bit more interesting to me, but it all comes down to opinion. Either way, both of these are fairly decent monster flicks.
And they don't stop coming, and they don't stop coming.
Austin Powers, The Spy Who Shagged Me. So here's the thing about this movie. I am not a big Austin Powers fan. I understand why a lot of people like it. Most of my friends get mad at me when I just say Austin Powers is kind of meh. I don't hate it, I just don't particularly care for it either. I didn't grow up watching Austin Powers movies. I loved Bond movies growing up, and I didn't have much interest in a series that was just a spoof on it. I'm also not a big Mike Myers fan. I like Wayne's World and Shrek. That's pretty much the extent of my Mike Myers movies that I enjoy. I still needed to mention Austin Powers 2 here because I'd get yelled at if I didn't.
All right then. I'm just gonna go watch a movie.
Search of the 3 missing Montgomery College students continues tonight.
Young kids started disappearing. We can never locate them. Never found any clues.
See what's never been seen. Own the Blair Witch Project on video or DVD.
I'm so scared.
Now with newly discovered footage. Own the project in stores now.
I love you, Mom, Dad.
And they don't stop coming, and they don't stop coming.
And we can't talk about 1999 and not mention the Blair Witch Project. It introduced the masses to the found footage film. There were people who legit thought this movie was real. It sounds ridiculous, but that was a thing back then. I never got into Blair Witch. I saw it when I got older and I never really got the appeal to it. I thought it was kind of dumb, but I think this is one of those movies that worked really well for the time that it came out. It was a train that came and went, and I just completely missed it. And that's fine. I feel like I didn't really miss anything anyway. Now I'm going to segue into some dishonorable mentions for 1999, of which there's only a couple. And kicking off this part of the list is going to be...
Ain't the sharpest tool in the shed.
Wild Wild West. For possibly the worst Will Smith movie ever, until M. Night topped that honor with After Earth, which was definitely worse than Wild Wild West. But Wild Wild West was just... what a wasted opportunity. You have Will Smith in a movie and... oh man, this was just giant steampunk tarantulas. I can't even talk about this thing. Fun fact, Will Smith turned down The Matrix. He turned down that movie to be in this movie. What a mistake. It's probably one of the biggest career mistakes of all time, but it did give Keanu Reeves a chance to resurrect his career.
Ain't the sharpest tool in the shed.
Yes, it's Inspector Gadget. This is possibly the worst adaptation of a classic 80s cartoon ever.
No! I gotta get out of here.
Please do. Please get the hell out of here. This movie was just so bad. They even showed Dr. Claw, like they showed his face. The whole point is that he's in the shadows. It was so ridiculous. This movie was just really bad. Fun fact, I can't actually do the Dr. Claw voice, and when I say the Dr. Claw voice, I mean from the actual cartoon. I'll get you, Gadget. It really hurts my throat a lot. I'm not going to do that anymore.
Ain't the sharpest tool in the shed.
This is my personal worst movie of 1999, Baby Geniuses. Baby Geniuses gets this top spot for some of the creepiest baby mouths this side of the annoying orange. This was just an all-around awful movie. Babies put on the Ritz and beat up full-grown men with karate moves. What the heck is this movie? Coincidentally, this is also the great Roger Ebert's worst movie of 1999 as well.
And now we arrive at the top, or maybe it's the bottom category, our individual choices for the worst single film of 1999. And my choice is a singularly unpleasant comedy named Baby Geniuses.
Totally agree with you there, Roger. Sorry to end part one on that awful note, but I promise that part two we'll have some great movies to talk about, and I hope you join me for the conclusion at this look back at 1999. And if you like this video, please like and subscribe, or don't. I'm not a beggar. I'm Gadget64, and I'll always tell you the truth.